Hello, my name is Peter Piergiovanni.
Where and when were you born?
Born February 18, 1922, in Wilton, Pennsylvania.
So how old are you right now?
Right now I'm 90, oh, wait a minute, 96.
Do you feel like you're 96?
I feel like I'm 69.
Physically, what is it like to be 96 years old?
Old.
Tell me about the pains. What do you feel?
Well, I'm kind of fortunate that I don't have much pains, and even when I go to my doctors and they want to know about the pains too, and I tell them I don't have much pains at all, nothing to complain about.
What branch of the service were you in during World War II?
I was with the 17th Airborne Division. I was a gliderman. Then I qualified for a paratrooper, and then I put in about a year and a half before we got shipped overseas.
And tell me the specific units you were in during your time in combat.
I was with the 155 C battery, and after that, you're talking Bastogne?
Everything. Start from the beginning. So what units were you in during Bastogne?
Bastogne, then we were told at that time that there was so many 101st Airborne soldiers missing, or I should say killed, and the 82nd Airborne also was quite a few killed in that tremendous battle. And that's when the 17th said that they're going to change our name from the 17th to the 101st and the 82nd Airborne Division. They were going to split our division up. And that's what happened.
And so what units were you in during your time in Bastogne?
I was with the 17th Airborne, and then when we got transferred over, I was with the 101st Airborne Division.
Do you remember what regiment
No,
and
I don't.
company?
No.
What was your role during the fighting in Bastogne?
We had the 75 millimeter tank gun. That was our ammunition. Plus, every soldier also carried a rifle. We were sort of in between a infantry man and an artillery man, or I should say 75 tank gun. Yeah,
So
that's not a thing.
after the fighting in Bastogne, where did you go?
We on a moment's notice, Bastogne, we went back in an awful great hurry to France, and they loaded us up in C-46s and C-47s and glider troops, glider planes, hundreds of them, all over France. And it was the middle of March. We flew over the Rhine River and dropped in. Glider troops and the paratroopers.
So after you dropped over the Rhine River,
Okay.
what happened?
What happened is we it took quite a while to get reorganized because when you're dropping glider troopers and paratroopers, it's just a wild mess, and it took a couple of days to get organized and find out where we're at and to get in back with your group so you can continue the battle.
So you were trained with the 17th Airborne Division. You went overseas, but it was during the Battle of the Bulge. So they split up the 17th Airborne Division, put some of the men in the 101st, put some of the men in the 82nd.
They didn't actually separate them, and they just told them that we're being divided. That's all.
But you were still part of the 17th Airborne.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, and so after you guys are done helping out, they bring you back to France, and then you load up with gliders.
And what do you call them? Cargo planes, C-46s and C-47s. Yeah.
And then you make a jump over the Rhine River.
Right.
Did you actually see the Rhine River as you guys came down?
When we went over it, yeah.
And so you guys were on the other side of the Rhine, the German side. And talk to me about once you landed, what do you see going on around you?
You look for what. The first thing you do is you got your rifle with you, and you look for enemy fire and stuff, but there was no firing at all going on. So what we did was just start looking for your own group so you and regroup yourself. That's what we were looking for. And the ones that had the tanks in them, in the gliders, them, what do you call them, 57 millimeter tank gun and a 75 millimeter tank gun, and we tied in with them and then continue setting up a bridge for the enemy.
And so when you were in combat, what was your specific role?
I was a sergeant. I was in charge of my 11 men under me. And I had a gunner and assistant gunner. And how do I say this? Then I had the corporal and the PFC. And all the rest were what we call ammunition. They were like supply the gun that we were going to use. And once we lost that, then we went to the rifle. Then you become a rifleman.
And what kind of gun were you in charge of?
75 millimeter anti-tank gun. That's the correct name.
And so what was your specific role with this anti-tank gun? What were you guys supposed to do?
Well, what we were supposed to wait and do body damage to bridges, any structures that they wanted knocked out, and naturally we had to fight the German tanks too. But we found out that the 75 millimeter shell did very little damage to a German tank.
Were you ever wounded?
No.
What was the highest award for valor you received in combat?
I received the Silver Star.
Say that again?
I received the Silver Star.
Where did that action take place?
The Silver Star, where did the action take place?
Yeah.
I honestly, all I could tell you is Bastogne.
Oh, so this Silver Star was before
Oh, yeah.
you guys made the drop.
Oh, yeah. Which I didn't know. I was told later on that I was I'm up for the Silver Star for what me and my squad did in Bastogne.
So we'll get into more detail later on, but give me a general overview of what had happened, please.
Well, it's going to be very hard to explain, but I think maybe okay. We were with our 75 millimeter gun. Sergeant Pete, that's me. Nobody called me Sergeant Piergiovanni. It was always Sergeant Pete. I had the front gunner, the front position, which we were going to be attacked by the German forces. We knew where they were coming and when they were coming and everything, and we were set up for them. We had 75 millimeter gun out front, and I was the front gun. The second gun was put behind me about a quarter, maybe a 15th of a mile, whatever. But there was about 4 or 5 tank guns lined up within a mile. You understand what I'm saying? One here, one half a mile away, and then anyhow, I was the front gunner. Okay. Now, we waited 2 days, and it was cold. I mean cold. Ice cold. To prove our point, we could hear the tanks coming. It was in the middle of the night. It was like, from what we were told later, it was about 2:30 in the morning, at night rather. Well, that's morning. It was so dark, so cold. We could hear them, but we couldn't see them. And when they come by, they were on the left side of this country road. We were dug in with our gun on the right side of the country road. When he come up with that tank, and we could, it's hard to explain. It was hard to see. It was so dark and cold and everything else. Anyhow, when that tank come up, Briggs, my gunner, he was zeroed in on it. He said, Sarge, I got it zeroed in. Let me know when you want me to fire it. And when that thing come up, I said, fire. I didn't holler fire. I said, fire to him. He pulled the trigger on the 75 gun. It was frozen solid. The gun would not fire. If the weather was totally against us. So now, the men, they got nervous and hey, I was shook up too. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And it's hard for me to explain this, but I said, don't move. Nobody, don't move. Just sit, lay still, don't move. When that, on the other side of the highway, when they were on the other side of the highway, country road, and they were on the other side, when they got up to us, but across from us, which I would say was maybe 100 yards at the nearest, I said, okay. We got out of our position and we marched with their, not marching, I mean, we were stringing on this side of the road and they were stringing on the other side of the road. In other words, they took us for their comrade or their German. This is the way I looked at it. And this went on for, maybe 25 minutes, and then the country road sort of peeled to the left, and we were on the right side. And when it peeled left, I told them we're going to scatter off a little more. and then we can, if they don't notice us anymore, then we can get away free. Well, it just so happened that none of us got hurt, none of us was shot at, everything worked perfect, and the reason for that is I give it because it was so goddamn dark. It was 2:30 in the morning. It was cold, and dark, and that's how we got away. Now they kept going, and now how are we going to get back to our outfit? We come back to the next group over, the tank, the number 2 tank gun. I was number 1. They were number 2. They got knocked out. They got, put it mildly, they got killed. Put it mildly.
Did you see them?
No, we didn't see them because it was up way ahead of us, and we were going the other opposite direction to get away from the fire because we had no more nothing to fire with but a rifle and and what are you going to do when you got 12 men out there? And
how do you know that they were killed?
Pardon?
How do you know that they were killed? The first gun crew. How do you know?
We were the first gun crew. We were the first gun crew.
The other gun crew. How do you know that they were killed?
Well, how do I? Well, we found this out when we got back to safety.
Okay. It's not like you went to them and you saw them.
No. When we got back to safety, then the captain said, "How in God's world did you come out of that alive?" He could not believe we're the number 1 tanker group up there, gunner tank or whatever you want to call them. One of my men, his name was Motto, and he said, give Sergeant Pete the credit because he kept us quiet, told us don't move, and when the Germans got lined up with us at the same distance, then we got up and just walked just like you're normally walking, and that's how we got away. And the captain just couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe it myself. I said, the only thing I can say is the good Lord was looking down on us, and that's all I can tell you. We were very, very, very lucky. And I don't want to take credit for it, but Motto said, you got to take credit because you're the one that held us down, told us, don't run, don't move, quiet, and then move. That was one phase of the thing.
And so that's what you got the Silver Star for.
That's
keeping them all together and keeping them quiet,
right.
Leading them to safety.
Without firing this shot. That's what I was trying to tell you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Scooch over this way a little? Perfect. Okay, so were you ever in combat? Were you ever used as a rifleman?
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk to me about?
Oh, when we in what do you call it, in Bastogne, before we went back to France to jump, we most of that was all rifle fighting there, because it was all wooded. It was all wooded area, woods. Yeah.
Did everyone in your anti-tank gun crew survive the war?
All but one.
Who was that?
Henry Gombieski.
What happened to him?
That's what I don't know. Nobody knows.
What do you mean?
When I told everybody to be quiet, everybody, and then as they kept watching, we got lined up with them, but maybe 100 yards. It was so dark you couldn't. You couldn't make out what they were. Well, we all left. But when we got that next morning, I only got 11 men. What happened to? We don't know. All we, what do you call it? The best answer I can give you that is one of the men said he thought he heard Gomieski said, "I got hit." I thought he said that. Now how he got hit, nobody knows.
You didn't hear any shots?
No. And nobody got shot at us. That's what we couldn't figure out. And there was 12 of us, not 11 of us. But when we got to our destination, we found out that we were missing one man.
Say that last part again. When you got to...
Pardon?
Say that last thing again. Oh, do me a favor. Sit back for me. Yeah. Just say when we got to our destination.
Yeah, when we got to our destination, we found out that we're missing Henry Gomieski. And one of the guys in our outfit, in our squad, said he thought he heard Henry say, "I got hit," but he wouldn't swear to it. But how could he get hit? And I'm a sergeant. I'm responsible for him, and I'm trying to figure out if he got hit, how come nobody else heard it?
But after Bastogne and into the fighting, after varsity, after you made the drop, was anyone else killed or everyone else survived?
Everybody. So you know why? When we dropped over the Rhine River, to me, my version of it, the war ended right there. That's the way I looked at it.
Why?
Very little shooting going on after that. Before we went to the next town, we had loudspeakers in German telling them, "Lay down your arms or we will," how do you say it, blast your city. So as we went to each little town, it was the same thing. No more fighting, no more fighting. Yeah, maybe a sniper, one of them diehard sniper bullet or whatever. But as far as the war, to me, it was over.
What was the highest rank you achieved by the time you left the service?
Highest rank, I was a buck sergeant.
So I want to backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
You were born in Pennsylvania?
Yeah?
Did you grow up there?
No.
Where did you grow up?
Youngstown, Ohio.
Turn.
Youngstown, Ohio. I was 5 years old when my father moved from Rutland, PA to Youngstown, Ohio.
Talk to me about growing up in Youngstown. What kind of things did you do for fun as a kid?
What did we use for fun? You know what what do you call that? Use the hoop with the...
Hula hoop?
No, not a hula hoop. This is a little metal ring about that big, like and you had a wire thing, and that was one of our play toys that we got.
To show the camera how it's a wire.
The wire was like it made the length about like that, and then it had a loop on it, and then you'd loop that wheel and get that wheel going, and you'd run with the wheel. Yeah. No, it was the wheel turned on the road, on the street or on the sidewalk.
What other kind of games did you play
Then
growing up?
we played. What do we play? God Almighty. Buck, how many fingers up?
What's that?
You get three guys put their head in between the guy's legs. The other guy put his head, and then the guy would run and jump on your back and buck, how many fingers up and all that. That was a crazy game. Then we played marbles, a lot of marbles.
How do you play marbles?
Well, how do you just like that? You get the marble and get that and shoot that glassy and hit them marbles. What else do we have? Oh, snowball fights. That was in the winter. And then we used to go, what do you call that? Bobsled riding. Oh, yeah. Main thing was snowball fighting. That was the main thing.
What did you want to do with your life before?
Oh, no, we're talking military now, right?
No. What I'm saying is, what did you want to do with your life when you were growing up?
Yeah.
What were your plans? What did you want to do with your life?
Well, I grew up in the 30s, and things were very, very, very bad. Food was scarce. Everybody was looking for a job. Everybody was looking for a job. Any kind of a job. Any kind of work, as long as it paid something. That's the way it was in the 30s. And what a difference it is today. What a difference.
I mean, talk to me about the struggles your family faced during the Great Depression.
Well, we had 5 brothers, mother and father. My father worked in a mill, and in them days he was lucky to get 1 day a week to work, and that didn't even buy the groceries or pay the electric or whatever. So it was tough, very tough. So to compensate for that, when it came like this time of the year, in May, June, July, and August, them 4 months, not just our family, every family on the street, every family on the block. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, whatever they raised, they canned. We canned everything we raised. What we didn't eat, we canned it. And that is how we got through the 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. About 4 or 5 years of, I would say, hard struggle. Yeah.
What was your father's profession?
What was his
job? Your dad's job?
He worked down a mill.
Sir, when you and your buddies would get together, what kind of mischief did you guys get into?
Playing softball games, playing hockey with a tin can on the road.
What kind of mischief?
Well, I'm getting to that. And then sin, get a tin can or a bottle, tie it on a string, then wrap the string around a doorknob of a door. Then on the bottom of that bottle, you got another string, and that string you take it out 50 feet, whatever, and you pull it and bang, pull it and bang, pull it and bang. The guy who we were to have fun with, to make him mad. He had opened the door, and he didn't see anybody, and he'd close the door, and would get the bottle again, and just with the string. You follow me?
Yeah.
Until he got wised up to it, and then we'd pick on somebody else. And that went on for, many, many moons, believe me. Oh, yeah.
What about on Halloween? What would you guys do? What kind of pranks did you pull on Halloween?
Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
Like what?
Oh, hell. Dress up as... most of them would get like charcoal right away, make your face black. In Halloween now, because we had no money. We didn't have no dollars to spend it. And that's what we had to do. We had to make everything what we could do. Why are we getting out of hand? We're going off the subject.
Did you ever soap any windows?
Hell yeah.
Pretend I don't know what that is. What is soaping a window?
Well, you get a bucket, okay, and you just dump whatever kind of soap you got in there, just dump flakes in there, about that much water, and then you got a rag, and just squish it like that, then get the... And man, I'll tell you, it was crazy, I'll tell you. And we got in trouble, a lot of trouble, too.
Did you ever knock any outhouses down?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah.
What would you guys do?
Knock it down, that's why.
Would there ever be people inside?
No, God, no.
You sure?
Oh, positive. When we did it, it was at nighttime.
People have to go to the bathroom at night.
I know, but they had their little, how do you say, a little flashlight with them or a little something with them. We knew that it was empty.
So
you don't want to knock over
an outhouse.
Yeah.
All right. So talk to me about how did you hear about the attack on Pearl Harbor?
Well, that's a good question. I was working, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Youngstown time, we heard Pearl Harbor was bombed, and I was just coming out of my job, and I said, "Whoa, boy, we're in trouble now." And sure as shooting, the draft went up pretty high real quick. They started drafting people right away.
So take me through. How did you end up in the service?
They had to draft me.
How old were you?
19.
So once you
The reason
hang on.
the reason why I was 19 and not 18 is because I was running a crane in a steel mill, and that job held me back one year longer.
Other way.
Over.
Perfect.
1 year longer. Then I got drafted. Then I went in.
So
Now, when I got in, 4 months later, I got hit by a car. I shouldn't say I got hit by a car. 22 of us got hit by a car.
tell me the story. I mean, start from the beginning.
Okay.
So
We're on a midnight hike. A midnight hike. The sea battery is on a midnight hike. So we're in North Carolina, walking not on a hard surface, on what they call the berm. That would be the soft spot. Or you'd call it, like today, you'd call it curbstone, We're walking, and The reason why that kid didn't see us, just before he came, there was a little dip in the road. And when he went up, and it happened right at 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the night. And I don't know what happened, but then now he hit 22 of us.
Who?
The car. The kid, 16 years old, 17 years old. He plowed into us and put 22 of us, didn't kill not one person, but broken bones everywhere.
Why did he run into you guys?
I'm telling you, we were not on the shoulder of the road. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Not on the hard surface, but just off the hard surface. And this kid come down, and he went up, and he must have saw that, and who knows what. I don't know what went in his mind. I have no idea.
Okay, so a kid hit you.
Yeah.
And then what happened to you?
Me?
You were one of the 22?
Oh, yeah. I had a fractured skull, and my right shoulder was busted in 3 places, and my nerve system was gone, complete gone, and I don't know nothing. I woke up 3 days later. I was in the subconscious mind for 3 days. And then, after my 3 days, I woke up and I found out I was like this, and I was all stretched out. And I couldn't get out of bed. And anyhow, I was in the hospital for 3 months. And they finally said, most of you guys can go back to your outfit, but some of you guys, you can't do it anymore. So now, they come to me, and they told me, you got 3 options. One option is we can put you in the medical corps, and after me being in that Army hospital for 3 months, I told them, no, I don't think I'd want that. I said I'd be AWOL tomorrow morning. So he said, well, the second thing is we could send you back home as a civilian with an honorable discharge. And the third thing is we'll put you in a regular, some smaller job that doesn't require much doing in the military. And I said, I don't think about that. So after a couple of days, they called me in. 3 high-ranking officers. And they said, what do you want to happen to you? And I said, well, you mentioned that medical corps, and I said, I'd be AWOL tomorrow morning. And he said, well, what do you want? I said, I'd like to go back to my outfit. He said, there's no way you can go back to your, them paratroopers, they're not the life of the Army soldier. They're stronger and everything else, and the training is strong and much harder. So I told her, I said, well, okay. I said, then do what you have to do. During that time, when I was getting back in shape, I happened to go to one of the places for a rehab was, you ever hear that golf course, down in Augusta, Georgia? No. You know.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So we went there, about 8 of us, from the accident. So who do I meet down there? A guy by the name of Luke Appling, a shortstop for the Chicago White Sox. And I was a baseball fan. Oh, I love baseball. And I knew as soon as I saw him, I was mad. And what is he doing? He's our instructor. Okay, guys, let's go. We're going walking today. It was walking, little exercise. I got to know him real good. So he says, "What are you up to?" "Hey, there's another of them bugs crawling on the window. See him?"
It's on the other side.
Yeah, I said, "See him crawling on the window?"
It's on the other side. Continue then. So he's your instructor.
Yeah, just for a short time. I think I was there for like a week, and then that was over with. So now I'm back to my base there, and the hospital base. So what are we gonna do with you? And I'm getting a little mad myself. I said, "You toss me around here like a goddamn yo-yo." So this one officer said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "For God's sake, give me a chance. Let me go back to my outfit. Let's see how far I can go." He said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No, I'm serious. I'd like to go back." And he talked the other two officers, and I went back to my outfit. Now, I stayed with my group for the next 2.5 years.
So did you have any difficulty keeping up with them?
Sure, I had difficulty. I couldn't exercise with my right arm, but Captain McCroy, I'm not McCroy. He was the second captain. Captain Lyle, the first captain, he got killed going over the Rhine River. He never made it.
Were you with him when he was killed?
I wasn't with him. I was in that same bunch that went, but I wasn't in his plane that went down.
So what did he say?
He said, "You got leadership that I like, because what I've been doing all that time with the good arm and bad arm and all that bullshit, you know." He said, I'll accept you back in." And so that was it. So now I'm back in my outfit.
So talk to me, just moving forward, how did you end up volunteering to become a paratrooper in the first place?
Very good. There was a big old sign in front of the mess hall.
Where?
Down in North Carolina. And it said, "Join the troopers and you'll get $100 a month." Oh, man. That sounded good. So a bunch of us went and signed up. And I made my qualified jumps with a bad shoulder. But that was kept between me and the captain.
How did you find out about the paratroopers? And how did you join them?
Okay, when I got drafted, sent me to Columbus, Ohio, give me some clothes, put me on a train, went down in the Carolinas, got off the train, got on a bus, took us to a camp, they call it Camp McCall, North Carolina. Okay, and then next thing I know, it said, "Welcome to the glider troops." I says, "What? Glider troops? What? Where? We don't know nothing about gliders." "Oh, you're going to find out." So anyhow, after week, month after month, so, well, we all, a bunch of us, it's chow time, so we start marching over to the mess hall, and they got a big sign out front there. Join the paratroops and make $100 a month. Oh my God. It was, I don't know how many guys, well, we all zoomed in there and signed the papers up right away, signed up. So we had a whole mess of names there. And next thing you know, we're being trained now to be a paratrooper. And next thing you know, we got to learn how to pack our parachute and do that. And then next thing you know, they got us up in an airplane and going to show just what kind of a guy you are.
Tell me about the first jump you made.
The first jump I made, exactly like we planned on the ground. Went out that side door, pulled yourself out, and down you went. After I picked myself up off the ground, rolled that parachute up, walked back to the motor pool car waiting for us there, and we're all saying the same thing. What the hell did we get into for that extra buck, you know? And next thing you know, well, hey, then all of a sudden that hard training, running and walking, running and walking, running and walking, and go, 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 go. Well, you got the word, it became real easy. That's because of training every day. So now we became a paratrooper for good. We made our qualified 5 jumps.
And take me through, how did you end up in the gliders?
We were gliders first.
Oh, I see.
We were gliders first.
But then you became a paratrooper.
Right.
So when it came to going overseas, how did they decide where to put you?
We were versatile. We'd go either way they want us to go. We're a glider trooper, we're a paratrooper, whatever they want us to do.
Tell me about the practice glider landings you made.
Well, I would say I don't know how many we made, but I would say most of my glider rides were made pretty smooth, because they always teach you to glide on open field. But if you're gonna glide a ride wild like and drop it in zone like a wooden zone, you got a big trouble. Big trouble. You'd be lucky to come out of that alive, I'll tell you that. But that's the way we did it. And we did have a few injuries, but nothing serious. Now, paratroopers, that was easy. Once you bailed out and your chute opened, you're on your own. You can steer that thing, whatever static lines you pull this way, that way, whatever, you can go that way or go that way. You're looking down and you're always looking for that opening, the open ground that you can find. And once you saw that open ground, you steered right into it. And that was how you operate a parachute.
So moving forward, take me through, how do you get overseas?
How to what?
How do you get overseas?
Get overseas? How did we get overseas? Well, it took us by bus to a train station, went all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts by train, got off the train, we went to camp. What the hell was it? Mount Standish? Yeah.
Yeah. Miles Standish.
Yeah. Oh, that come quick. We were there, and still we took a little basic training. We still exercised and everything. In other words, to keep us in shape. And then they surprised all of us. They said, "All you guys that like to watch baseball, the Boston Red Sox are playing the Cleveland Indians, and all you guys want to go, it's free. Come on, load up the bus, and we'll take you and put it in there free." That was one good thing. Now, a week later, we got on the crew. What do you call it? Cargo? No, cargo.
Troop ship.
Troops. I couldn't think of troops yet. We got on there. From what we did is we started out. It was seven troop ships. And they would all take off one after another. The next day, I looked around and I couldn't see, what the hell? Everybody's talking to each other. What happened to all them ships? We were told by the officers on the ship that we were on was faster than any U-boat the Germans got, so we're free to go. And that's what they did. They took off by themselves. And boy, was I glad to get in the what the hell was that port in England? That famous.
I'm looking. Well, it doesn't matter. So you arrived in England.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then they boarded us by trucks, and we went to the camp in England. And that's where we stayed in England until we went over to France.
And take me through, when you arrived in France, what happened?
Well, then they put us on all kinds of vehicles they had there. And we're going into, wait a minute, what's the name of that?
Le Havre?
Huh?
Le Havre? That's the name of the...
No, Le Havre is a seaport.
What are you trying to think of? 40 and 8s?
Yeah, it's when we were in France, we're going into the battle zone. What the hell was that name of the Ardennes? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Ardennes, and then we from there we. I'm trying to figure out, where do we go from Ardennes? I think we went to Bastogne.
Yeah. Take me through the fighting.
Oh, God. Everybody talks about the fighting. It wasn't the fighting that was bad. It was the weather that was bad. It was cold. It was 2, 3, 4 inches of snow on the ground. It was zero weather, 10 above zero. You were cold. You're living in the woods. You're living in the woods. You're eating out of a can that's got frozen food in there. how could I explain how bad it was? It was bad, bad, bad.
Did you have frozen feet or hands?
No, but my buddy did. He had frozen toes, and yeah, I'll even tell you his name was Joe Obrick from Youngstown, Ohio.
So, talk to me about your first experience under fire. After you got to Bastogne.
I got sick.
What do you mean?
I vomited.
When?
The first dead soldiers I saw. And they were Germans and Americans. They were both, I mean, the bodies were there. They were froze stiff, like an iceberg. They've been laying there probably a day or two or maybe longer. Terrible. And that upset me bad. But then, hey, I had a fight too, so.
So you saw these bodies, and what did you do?
I straightened myself out. I had to get over what I got. Vomited, you get sick over it, but then I straightened myself out. So if I don't kill somebody's going to kill me. So that's the way I looked at it.
But you were with an anti-tank gun, correct?
Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the times you guys engaged the enemy with your anti-tank gun.
Well, it was from a distance because it was never a tank that our 75 millimeter had no. It couldn't knock out a German tank if it wanted to. We used the tanks to knock out jeeps, trucks, any kind of a vehicle on wheels, but it had no control over a German Tiger tank. No control.
Did you guys knock out German jeeps?
Oh God, yeah.
Tell me about some of the times that you guys did that kind of stuff. Tell me some specifics.
Well, that's how could I remember where I was at in the middle of the wooded area of.
No, I don't care where you were, but tell me, what did you guys see? What did you do?
Well, okay, if you want that information, is like I said, we were in outside of Bastogne somewhere. I don't remember where, and some of them Germans were coming in with equipment or whatever they were carrying in them trucks. Well, we got set and wait for the. We always had to get a side-in shot at them. Never try to hit them head on. Get a side shot. You got a bigger target, and we had that bigger target. Then we just fire a few and see where we're at. And if the first one was a little low or too high, the gunner would re-gun himself, reset the gun, and the second one should be the winner. We called the hitter.
Do you remember actually seeing the shells hit the target?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. On an open day.
Were you on the gun itself, or you were?
No, I was never a gunner.
So what were you doing during?
My job is to make sure that the gunner's there, his assistant gunner's there, the ammo men are there, ready to reload. As soon as one's gone, the other throws it.
Show the camera that again. The reloading.
So with them shells going in there as fast as he can fire them, because it didn't take long. Boom, boom, and that was it. And he can fire another one. And normally, if you get 2 or 3 or 4 shots off, you're lucky, because how do I say it? your damage is done, or or you missed your whole target.
Did you ever provide first aid to any of the wounded men around you?
No, we had medics that did that. The only thing I can tell you that one of my men, he had it wasn't even. Well, I'm sorry, he wasn't even. He was my buddy, Joe Olbrich. What am I talking about? The other guy from Youngstown, Ohio. And he took his boot off. And when I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, Joe!" I said, "You got your toes are purple and black and blue." So I hollered for the medics. Medics came right away, and that was the last I saw of Joe until the war was ended. In fact, I didn't even see him then. I saw him when I got home, which was years later.
So tell me, can you talk to me about the times that you were a rifleman? Can you tell me about some of the firefights you got into?
It was never such. It was never close quarters. In other words, you're not shooting from here across the street. When you're firing a rifle, you're firing a rifle 50, 100, 200, 300 yards. You're not, because with the rifles, nobody ever got that close to it before you killed it.
What was the closest you got to the German infantry in combat, besides the Silver Star thing? I mean, in combat, what was the closest you got to the German infantry?
The closest I got to the German infantry. Well, that would be the closest when we were in Bastogne and when.
Besides the Silver Star.
Oh. In Germany, when we jumped the Rhine River, yeah, there was I would say a handful, put it that way. I couldn't say whether it was 30 or 40 or 50 or something like that. But we run across, I think the way it happened is that they were running away too, and they were running away from us, and we were after them. It wasn't, we didn't actually shoot them or anything, it's just that, how the hell are you going to explain that?
I know what you mean. So, is there a good chance?
How could you kill a man when he's running away from you? You don't want to shoot him in the back. No.
Did you see guys do that, though?
No.
I know that Americans did not always take prisoners. Did you ever see that happen?
No, but I heard of it. And
you heard it, or you heard of it?
Of it.
Okay.
But I never saw it.
So, talk to me about the patrols that you went on.
Well, the patrols I went on, that would be in not Essen, Germany, Heithausen, Germany. That's the name of Heithausen. Now, patrols I went on is when I found this Russian, you're going to get a kick out of this one, this Russian guy, that he was there and he was working in the mills, keeping the mills open. And when we broke in there and started taking the area over, we saw this. I saw this Russian. Whoa, where you go? Where you running to, buddy? Come over here. Come over here. And he didn't know what I meant, but I meant you like this. I meant come here, you know. He got to me there, and I searched him then. He had a German Luger on him. And you know where that German Luger went? In my pocket. I put it in my belt. Yeah. So that's the only time I saw his. And then there was while we're going through this steel mill, the two doors opened up on Captain Lyle's order, not Lyle, Captain McCroy's orders. We opened it up, and there was about 40 or 50 Russians, all sizes, all male, female, everything. You know what they were doing? Working there. The Germans put them to work. Put them to work. And they were working. And here's the part I want you to understand. It was about 3 days later, this Russian general or Russian high-ranking officer, who knows what he was, I don't know. He come down with a couple of his guards, and he's going to take all these Russians back to Russia. I could not believe it. The Russian people that were prisoners under German rule by working war did not want to go back to Russia. Did not want to go back to Russia.
Why not?
They had it better there than in Russia. From what we gathered, I don't know. I know it's hard for me to say that Russians didn't want to go back, but that's the way it was. They had it better living, being a prisoner, than they would over there.
So can you talk to me? Did you go on any combat patrols?
No.
During the fighting in Bastogne?
No.
Talk to me about your experience.
There's no. Explain that again. Combat.
Did you go on any combat patrols?
Patrols. No. They had. How do I say that?
Your role was different than that of the infantry.
Right. Our role was mostly with the 75 millimeter gun, right? Plus the, how do I say it? The rifle, which we carried for, when the 75 millimeter gun went out, then you was a rifleman.
Did you ever fire your rifle in combat?
No.
Not in combat?
No. I had my 11 men with me. They did all the firing.
So you would direct your men where to fire the rifles?
You don't direct them. When you're in an area like that, you just, whatever moves, shoot. Yeah. Right? I tell you, I would call it the Ardennes. They were laying in the position, and right there was another American there laying in position. Then you walk a few steps more and you see another one.
Another what?
Soldier. Another dead soldier. And you walk a little more, and all of a sudden you see another one or two more. And I just, whew, I couldn't take it. I thought I was a man, but I found out that, oh God, that was. Then you got to regroup yourself and say, hey, you're here now. It's either get killed or kill somebody else. So this is the way it was. So that's what happened. And as the days went by, we're going to take out that zone over there. We want to take. There's that farmhouse there. We want to go around that farmhouse there and set up our gun and see anything ahead of us. Well, two of my soldiers go in the farmhouse. They come out with two German soldiers. Now, them German soldiers, they could have killed us easily.
But they didn't.
No, for what were they going to gain? What were they going to gain?
You're right. You're right. At a certain point, it's just murder then.
See, it's all depends on the condition and everything. You got to take everything into consideration. Now, he's sitting in that house with him and another German soldier. Now, we come up. We didn't know they were in there. Well, it was my duty to make sure that everything's open. Now, I didn't do that. We went with that gun, unload the... You ever see how they unload a gun off of a Jeep?
How?
It's a tripod. You got it's not hard for me to explain. But it just doesn't run over there, drop it and go. Huh? It's a lot more to it than that.
Like what? What's the process?
Well, it's like getting a flat tire. What would you do?
Jack up the car?
See, you got things to do before you get to the point, right?
Well, I'm asking you, when you set up the 75 millimeter, what do you do?
Well, first of all, they're coupled up to the van or whatever is pulling it.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do is make sure you uncouple them. Next thing is make sure that the ammo is right there so you can load up that gun right away. I mean, there's things that you have to do quick. Yeah.
And so, talk to me about your first experience under a German artillery bombardment.
Where would that be?
Well, I don't care about the first.
I'm just...
Just talk to me about your experiences under the German artillery. Do you remember any specific...
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me about some specific times you were caught under a German artillery bombardment, please?
That was... That would be right side of... Right just before... We went back to France to jump the Rhine River. Just before the their artillery was really on high gear. They were one after another, boom, 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 all right there. And I mean, if you didn't duck and hide, you was a dead man. Now,
did you see the shells bursting around you?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
What does it look like? Like a fan. Pew, pew, pew. That means if you're close enough, you're dead.
Did you have any experiences against German landmines?
No.
Did you have any experiences against the German Luftwaffe?
Yeah.
Talk to me about your experiences against the German Luftwaffe.
We're actually resting. In other words, taking a break. And I'm sitting under this tree, and I could hear them. We knew the Luftwaffe just by the roar of their engine. we knew right away who it was, right away. And that sucker come over there and right away, and he tried everything. If he saw us moving down there, he'd let us have it. But I was fortunate. That's all I can tell you. A lot of them never made it, and I made it.
Talk to me about your experiences against the German snipers, please.
We were in Essen, Germany, Steel Town. Now you're going to get a kick out of this. Captain Lyle got killed. Captain McCroy that took over. He's our captain now. And we're going through this steel mill. Now, I look at, hey, I worked at a steel mill. I could tell. Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, what part of the mill am I? Yeah, this is the blast furnace area. I know exactly where. Anyhow, boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, all our soldiers, well, I wasn't right there. I was like, 50 yards away on the other side. And McCroy said, "Get Sergeant Pete over here right away. Get him over here right away." So they finally got a hold of me, and I dodged over there, made sure I wasn't going to get picked off by running. I made sure. Anyhow, I got to him. I said, "What?" He said, "Just what? Stay here. It's got a sniper here. He's picking on us." And so look, how you gonna make him fire a shot? So he got his goddamn hat and everything, and held the hat like that. Pum! I told Captain McCroy, "You see that walkway up there on that? It's the ore bridge. Yeah." I said, "You see that little shed, like a little thing of shed?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Get your man up there and get your expert there and see if you can put a bullet in there." And he fired one, and he fell just short of that bullet. And all of a sudden, you saw that guy going down that runway, running full speed, and down on the, what do you call? He was on them girders and whatnot. That was the only one I saw like that.
What happened to him?
Well, I'll tell you what happened to him. He went back into civilian life, and a minute later, putting civilian clothes on. That's what I think happened to him. Because we never did get him.
So, were you ever caught under small arms fire? Like German rifle or machine gun fire? Were you ever...
Where the hell? Let's see. No, I must be honest with you, I can't recall.
You don't remember ever having bullets go off around you? It was always artillery. And
mostly, yeah.
What about mortars, German mortars?
Yeah, that's mortars too.
What do you remember about the German mortars?
They were pretty goddamn accurate, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. When we got into Germany and we settled down into Germany, we took over the beer gardens and everything else that we did. Americans run everything then. This guy was you remember that kid I told you, Henry Gombieski?
Yeah.
That I lost?
Was he missing in action or was he killed?
killed in action.
Okay.
And his replacement,
You didn't tell me about his replacement.
I'm going to tell you now.
Okay.
He turned out to be no good. He didn't listen to nobody, didn't listen to me, the sergeant, didn't listen to the corporal, didn't listen to the private. In fact, he didn't even listen to the second lieutenant. We had inspection. And I told him, clean your rifle. He said, I don't like that rifle. I got my Thompson machine gun. I said, clean your rifle. Next day come, he passed inspection? No. The rifle, dirty. So they that give us the mark against my whole squad. And captain calls me in his office there. He says, what's going on with you and the replacement? I said, he's no good. You don't listen. I told him about that rifle. Make sure you clean your rifle. Tomorrow morning, the inspection. Everything. Every one of my buddies in there, none of them liked them. So, okay. So the captain said, well, if you can't straighten them out, I'll get somebody that will straighten them out. I said, sir, I'll take care of them. Don't worry about that. So the next day, I told him, come here. I want to talk to you. I said, I don't want you, as of now, I don't want you to leave this area right here. From the mess hall to your quarters where you're sleeping, that's the distance you got to go. You're not going nowhere else. You understand? Well, you won't believe this, but about 2-3 hours later, maybe 4 hours later, I don't know, one of the guys said, hey, Pete. Yeah. He said, his name was Varrock, from Massachusetts. He's downtown in Baden, Germany. I said, what? I said, that can't be. I said, no, that can't be. So I tell my Jeep driver, go get your Jeep. He goes to the motor pool, brings back the Jeep. We go. I said, before we go, I said, I'm going to make sure. So I go to the area. Mess area is not there. Sleeping area is not there. I said, that son of a bitch must be there. So we go looking for him. And just about a half a block from the Catholic church, German church, it's McCroy's, not McCroy.
Varrock.
Yeah.
Varrock,
yeah. He is there. I said, what? Well, we went, and there he was, sure. So, Jeep driver stopped the Jeep. I jumped out of the Jeep. I walked over to him. He had his Thompson machine gun slung over the shoulder, just swinging up like that. Anyhow, I jumped out of the Jeep, and he's carrying a bottle of booze with him. So I grabbed that bottle of booze, and I smashed it against the hub of the wheel. And he said, you son of a bitch. And he went to pull his Thompson up. When he pulled his Thompson up, at the same time, I nailed him right on the button. And I broke his nose. He's bleeding bad, and I flattened him out. One punch. Oh, was I lucky, because he could have killed me anyhow. Jeep driver got in a Jeep, drove that half a block back, and the nuns come out right away. Cleaned him up with all that blood all over him. So she said, I'll call your company there. We have their number and everything else. So she calls that number, they come, they take him. Okay. So 2 days later, Captain McCroy calls me in his office. He said, Sergeant Pete, I got bad news for you. He's pressing charges. You're being court-martialed.
What did you think about that?
Oh, God, I couldn't believe it. No, I'm not done. So, 2 MP soldiers come to get me from where we were staying, and take me down in Coupverdray. That was the prison. They're going to put me in prison there until the trial's over. So Captain McCroy said, wait a minute. Told these 2 MPs, wait a minute. So he called somebody he knew, and he finally convinced the MPs to he'll be in charge. So McCroy said to me, you're not going to do something crazy now and take off, because I'm standing up for you and everything. I said, sir, where the hell am I going? I'm in Germany. I'm not in the United States. Where the hell am I going to go? So 3 days later, they have the goddamn hearing, and MPs come to get me. They got to do it legally. The MPs got to come and get me and drag me into the courtroom there in Coupverdray. And there's these 3 colonels, majors, and who the hell knows what they were. I don't know. And they started asking me questions. I told them. He was bad ever since I got him as a relief man. The one man I lost, I said. So they told me, well, he's pressing charges, saying you hit him anyhow. So I said, I hit him all right, but this one officer, high rank, I think it was the colonel, he said, just for the hell of it, I want you to go step by step now. You got the jury here listening to you, and you got us 3 here now, and you got your lawyer there. Now, what exactly happened? When you jumped off of that Jeep, what is the next step? I said, next step was I run up to him. It was only a couple of quick steps. And I saw that bottle of booze he had, and I grabbed it, and I smashed it against the hub of the Jeep. And when I turned, he was going for his Thompson, and I hit him. And the colonel said, well, to me, that's self-defense. So they hammered and hawked back and forth for a few minutes or whatever. Then it made me go outside again, and then they called him back in again, and then they called him back and called me back in, and said, "Case dismissed. You did it on self-defense."
Which
So
is
that
true.
was,
So what happened to the kid?
well, from that day. And I told him, I said, now listen, Mr. Varrock, I'm going to tell you one more time. If you don't straighten up, I said, I'll hit you again, God damn it, and I'll hit you harder this time. I'll guarantee you that.
Or what did he say?
Well, he said, don't worry. The next 3 months before we were shipped back to the United States, he was the best soldier I had. Unbelievable. Everybody in my squad, they couldn't believe it. How he turned.
Good guy? Did you become friends with him?
Oh yeah. In fact, the day we departed from New Jersey, he come over and shook hands with me. Yeah. You know why?
Why?
He said, you made a man out of me. Made him stand up for his own.
What life advice do you want to give to future generations?
Give me that again.
What life advice do you want to give to future generations?
What life? Well, there's so many ways of saying things, but I'm gonna put it my way. If you are doing any type of work, a job, whatever, if you enjoy doing it, it is not a job. But if you are not enjoying that job, please go get another job until you find a job that you enjoy. That is my life saying to anybody.
Were you afraid of getting killed when you were in combat?
Oh yeah.
Did you think about it a lot?
Oh yeah.
What about your feelings about death now? Are you afraid of death nowadays?
Honestly, I'm not afraid.
Why not?
You see that picture there? I want to join her.
If she was still alive, would you be afraid of death?
Oh, definitely.
Even now?
But I want to be with her.
And what kind of person do you want to be remembered as?
What kind of a person?
Do you want to be remembered as?
Well, I don't know. I think myself. I don't want to brag about myself, but I think if everybody would have the same thoughts and things like I do, I think would be a hell of a lot better place to live. Because I do believe right from wrong. I believe in punishment for wrongdoings. I believe all that. I believe that every person that has a chance to do himself justice, he should.
What kind of person do you want to be remembered as?
So-so guy, that's all.
No, you got to give me something better. When your friends and your family think about you in the future after you've passed, what kind of person do you want them to think of you as?
Well, I'm not going to say a super guy. I'll say a good guy.
how do you want them to remember you? You want them to remember you as a super guy?
Not a super guy, just
No, it doesn't matter if you're bragging. This is the way you get to be remembered. What kind of person? Tell me about the kind of your attributes that you want people to think of. Hardworking, honest, what?
well, yeah.
What?
You hit the nail on the head when you said hard working, because I worked hard my whole life. I worked 36 years in the steel mill. I did a side job as a landscaper, and I sold Christmas trees at the holiday season. So I was kept busy, busy, busy. And a busy person will never get in trouble.
Did you have difficulties readjusting to civilian life?
Civilian life? No. No.
Did you have any nightmares?
No.
Did
Now I don't.
back then, though.
Oh yeah. First 3 years, I had a hard time sleeping.
Why?
Too much memory.
Of?
The war.
What would you think about?
About like we've been talking here the last hour about killing people and seeing people being killed, and there was a couple of spots that we had to do some damage. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, like for instance, when you're how do you say, you're in an area, and there's shells are going left and right, and you don't know which way to run. And if you stand still, so human instinct, the person will jump and run. He may be running right into a bigger fire, but he'll do that. And that happened a couple of times where we were getting shelled pretty good, but we made it.
Let's start with the dropping over the Rhine River. So tell me the story. After Bastogne, what happened to you?
After Bastogne,
Yeah.
we went back to Germany, back to France, and we went and we jumped over the Rhine River.
Tell me about that. How did you guys do that?
How we do it, I don't know. It was just a matter of getting hundreds and hundreds of gliders and paratroopers together, and that's not my category. I had no idea how they did it. I was just one of the occupants. That's all.
So tell me about your experience. How did you guys take off? What happened? Where did you take off from? Where did you go?
I can't think of the name of France at all. French names got crazy. I don't know.
Okay, so you take off in a glider, right?
Yeah.
Oh, are these gliders safe?
Are they what?
Safe. Are gliders safe or dangerous?
They're dangerous.
Why?
There's no protection.
What's the gliders made out of?
I would call it a little thicker than cardboard. But the strength, no strength at all. And all tubing.
So talk to me about the actual drop. How long was the plane ride?
How long?
Couple hours?
Oh God, no, no. I'd say at the very most 1 hour. At the very most.
And how does it work? How do gliders, are they hooked up to a plane and then they're let go? Explain to me how gliders work.
A glider, it's got a big. First, they got this nylon rope on it. That's the pull. And it's connected to the tail of the plane, and that's the C-46s or C-47s, and it's connected to the glider on top of the gliders. Actually, can punch a hole in it. And you see that there's where they connect it there, and the way they release themselves, all they do is it's like this. They hit that thing, and I can't think of the name of that word. It opens, and the nylon rope is free, and the glider's free, and then the pilot, all he got to do is disconnect his nylon rope and let it just drop. He didn't have to drag it in.
And so talk to me, as you guys got over the Rhine River, did you take on any anti-aircraft fire?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, nothing near where we were, but you could see them exploding in the air.
Did you see other planes getting hit?
No, actually I didn't, be honest with you. Now, they might have got hit, but from what I saw, them little anti-aircraft shells, they were exploding in the air. But I didn't see any real close to us, and I didn't see no glider go down.
So your glider is cut loose, and tell me about how do you guys land? Was it a rough landing?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it. So you're going down.
And they don't glide down. They don't glide down. The way the glider goes like this, it nosedive straight down. Then so many feet as he noses it, he pulls it and it just levels off. It's unbelievable how that. And I made over 11 glides, over 11 of them.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about this particular one.
Well, that one there, we ended up in a bunch of trees, but no damage.
Was anyone hurt?
No. I don't mean inside the trees. Our nose was right up at, like we land here and go right up to that fence and stop. Yeah, we were lucky.
So you get out of the plane.
Of the glider. Get your.
And what do you do when you get out of the glider?
Empty it. If you got a Jeep in there and ammunition and 6 soldiers, that's the first thing you do is get the equipment out right away, and put it all together and get ready and look for the one with a gun in it, and then you connect it together. That's the way that operated.
And so talk to me about the fighting. Where you guys landed, Did you see Germans around you?
No.
So
No.
what's your first thing? How do you guys, you have an anti-tank gun. How did that come in? How did you guys get your anti-tank gun?
What do you mean anti-tank gun?
Did it come in the glider with you?
Anti-tank gun?
Your 75 millimeter. You were in charge of an anti-tank gun.
Yeah.
So when you made the gliding land,
Yeah, but that don't mean that all them were all glider tank guns in there. Some had, like I said, as the war kept going on, at the end of the war we had them recoilless guns. Now, a recoilless gun took the place of an anti-tank gun. The recoilless gun was only about that big. 2 men can pick it up and run with it.
I see. So you didn't have your big gun.
No, we had all anti-tank guns.
Recoilless.
Recoilless guns.
So tell me, did you guys engage with the Germans at all after you landed?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. There was little fighting going on right along, but not heavy fighting.
Tell me about the fighting that took place.
It wasn't that much. Not because we landed over a period of like 20 miles. We didn't all land in one spot. We were spread out like over 20 miles. If not, maybe even more. I'm not exactly sure how many miles they spread out. Yeah.
So.
And was there fire? Some had it and some didn't.
Just tell me about the combat you saw after you landed on the other side of the Rhine River.
I told you, the war, if you remember what I said.
You said the war was over.
Almost over. The heavy fighting was over with.
But that's after you guys landed.
Yeah.
The day that you guys landed, there must have been some action going on.
Oh, there was fire going everywhere, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, like you said, the bombs were exploding in midair and everything else. And when we got on the ground, there was a lot of infighting going on there, but don't forget, we took miles of front.
So where you were, it wasn't very heavy.
No.
Did you fire your rifle at all?
Oh yeah, we fired rifles, sure.
After you.
But we even fired, even if we didn't see nothing, we just fired. Now, why would you want to do that? Make sure the gun was working.
Did you have any experiences? With tree bursts when you were in Bastogne?
With what?
Tree bursts. The shells would hit the trees. When the artillery shell hits the tree and it bursts.
I know what you're saying.
Did you have any experiences?
No.
Okay.
The main thing, when you mention Bastogne, a lot of people do not want to mention
the weather.
The weather.
Can you please put me in your shoes and describe to me what the weather conditions were like during the Battle of the Bulge?
The weather was super cold. I would go as far as say it's from 0 to 10 above. Snow, anywhere from 1 inch to 5 inches. Cold, 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 cold. I mean, it was just, when you try to get a couple of minutes sleep and you got your buddy with you and you're hugging each other, just to keep warm, that's cold. That's cold.
What kind of tactics did you guys use to stay warm?
In the daytime, try anything. What did we have? Nothing. There was no such thing as a warm thing. We had no no warm blanket. You didn't have nothing was warm.
At nighttime, what did you do to stay warm?
Same thing. What we do is huddle against each other just to keep body heat. Yep. It's unusual to see two soldiers holding each other, but to keep warm, and we did everything in our power.
So, can you talk to me about did you smoke?
I did then.
How much did you smoke?
Pack a day.
Put your head up.
And did I smoke then? Yeah. You smoke it like this. And just like that. That little bit of a cigarette will keep your fingers warm.
Oh, that's why you would do it?
Yeah. Like that. Then, yeah.
Show me. Keep.
Yeah, like that. Then take a drag, you go. That smoke feels nice and warm.
Can you please take me through the actions that led to you eventually receiving the Silver Star?
Well, we were 2 or 3 days in advance, and I was the number one, I was going to say tank, but that's the wrong word, 75 millimeter gun. I was number one out front. In other words, I was on the front line, and the others were behind me, okay? Like I said, we were spaced, I don't know, eighth of a mile, tenth of a mile, I don't know. I have no idea. All I know, we were the first one out there, the first one was going to run on the combat. So we waited like 2 days or whatever it was. Finally, we were dug in on this side, country road, and dug in pretty good. We had the Jeep across the street on that side in that farmer's barn. And every day he'd take out that, well, what's that thing you take out so the car won't start? I don't, anyhow. I wasn't a Jeep driver anyhow. I wouldn't know anyhow. So now we're sitting there waiting after. And here it comes. When that goddamn tank come up there, Briggs, our gunner, he said, I got him on sight. I said, fire. And he pulled the trigger and nothing happened. Froze. The gun's frozen. So what do? Everybody starts to panic. That's the right word, panic. And I said, hey, whoa, easy. We're all going to get killed. If you give up now, we're all going to get killed. Quit, don't stop that anyhow. So wait a little bit. Honestly, I didn't know what to do myself. Now, just like if the good Lord told me to turn around, when them soldiers on the other side of the road like there would be like, oh, say 2-3 blocks away, okay, whatever. And you could see them all of them. You can't pick them out because it's so goddamn dark and cold and everything. But you can see the whole movement. And when that thing lined up straight, I said, now, okay, now come on, I'm gonna get out. And we started going right with them up the road.
How close were you to the German?
Oh shit! How close? I don't know. 80 yards, 100 yards, I don't know. I have no idea.
Did they see you guys?
They couldn't see they could see the movement, but they can't. In other words, you couldn't pick him out whether he was a man or a giant or. But anyhow, there was no firing going on at all. No, everything was quiet. The only thing that was making the noise was that German tanks up front. And when Briggs fired, and his goddamn gun wouldn't fire. Oh my God! Everything went haywire. So, like I said, I don't know what in my mind when that group of soldiers behind that German tank followed up. Then we got on this side of the road. We got at the same time. I said, just keep going slow. And I told everybody, keep quiet, just keep going. And sure as shooting, there was a little bit of left turn on that road that going left. That would take them that way, and we could go straight. Then, if we're fortunate enough, maybe we can lean a little bit more right. I don't know what I was thinking, what we're going to do. And well, when we got up to that bend there. Well, there's only one chance. Let's hightail it and get the hell out and see what happens. So we took off. Now, how I lost that guy, I still don't know.
What guy?
Henry Gombieski.
Who was he and what happened to him?
He was one of my soldiers in my outfit, in my squad. And I don't know where he got hit. No, the funny part is nobody seemed to know where he got hit. And one of the soldiers thought he said, I thought I heard him say I got hit. I don't know. So, hey, we're trying to protect and save our lives, and we're out there. We want to get the hell out and get out fast. So, lo and behold, however we got it, we did it. And as we came to this next farmhouse, the Belgium farmhouse, if I remember right, that farmer, it was like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning already, or maybe earlier. I don't remember. Did we spend the time in that barn sleeping for the rest of the day, or what? I don't remember. No, we didn't stay. No. But that farmer must have known anyhow.
How close did that German tank get to you guys?
Oh shit! That tank was. The tank was the first to go by us. They were 100 yards, maybe more. Yeah.
But
And then they had the what they call a command car, like a oversized Jeep that rode behind the tanks. The brains of the outfit, put it that way.
Did you hear the Germans talking?
No. It was too goddamn cold and oh hell no.
If it was dark, how did you see the German tank?
We didn't see him, we saw him. Yeah, that big old tank roaring, oh yeah.
So the tank didn't see you guys.
No.
If your gun was working, you could have heard it.
It wouldn't have done it any good. Our gun wouldn't have done a damn thing to it.
So how long did this whole ordeal last?
10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. We just got up and started walking right out.
Well, why did you follow them? Why didn't you walk the other direction?
You're giving yourself away. You're giving yourself away. But when you're going in the same direction, you may think that that's what probably come in my mind.
So this was your idea.
Yeah. And
how did you keep the men calm? They must have been freaking out.
oh God, you tell them. Oh,
How did you keep them calm?
hey, I don't know. How I kept them calm. Just that I told them, hey, how do I put it? If you're gonna expose yourself, you're a dead person. So you got to know that just by. So that's about it. I can't give you no other answer. I have no. The only thing I can figure out is that they figure, well, I'm the boss, and right now I thank God that I made the right decision by let's just keep going real slow and then keep right with them, and that's what we did. But the main thing was it was dark. It was hard to. You could see movement all right, but you couldn't pin it out and say, "Wait, he's German, he's Belgium, or he's American." No.
Did you visit the family of the man who was killed?
In Cleveland? No. But I wrote to him.
What did you write them? What did you write them? Saying what?
A year later, I wrote to him.
Saying what?
Because in one of our newsletters, the family required does anybody have any information about him? And I said, and I couldn't hold back any longer. I said, hell, that was my man. So I answered it, and I told him what I knew, and that was it. There's nothing else I can add or. He was a good soldier, no doubt about that. He took his orders, and but a lot of people died crazy like, and for no good reason, but.
So, you brought your men back to the company commander. How did you know where the company commander was?
I didn't know.
How did you find him?
To the farmhouses. The farmhouses, as we peeled off to the right there, that farmhouse there, that Belgium there, when, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the morning, I don't know what time, I have no idea what time it was. Was he up? I don't know. Did he hear us? I don't know. But he come out anyhow, and he saw that we were not Germans. American, American, American. He kept pointing up that way, up that way, up that way. And that's the way I went. And I didn't hesitate then. I said, and you know something? The more you move, the faster you move, you build a little heat in you too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had that How we did it, I'll just never know. I'll just never know.
I mean, did you think of any other ideas besides this one? I mean, was this the first idea that came to your head? Let's pretend we're some of the Germans and follow them. Did you have other ideas?
No.
Why not just stay where you were?
That was a good move. But for how long? Till daylight? And then
Well, how long were you expecting to follow the Germans?
well, not long. Well, the first chance we got to peel away, and that's what happened. I didn't. I had to peel away before the goddamn daylight came.
So how you peeled away when they went on a curve?
Yeah. They went. We're going up the road. They went to the left, a slight curve that way, and I made a slight curve to the right.
How close are your men spread out, or are you all huddled together?
Walking.
Yeah, when you're walking.
Walking like one behind the other.
Single file.
Yeah.
Is that how the Germans were walking?
No, they were in a big group.
You must have heard them talking. No? How many Germans would you say there were?
Oh God, there's a big square of them. I'll tell you.
How many would you estimate?
I'd say a good 50 yards by 50 yards. Yeah.
So how many would you say?
I have no idea. I couldn't even guess. From France, we motored into France, just outside of Paris, and then we're going to the Ardennes there, up towards Belgium, and that's where I saw my first dead soldiers, Germans and Americans, and that's when I got sick. I just vomited right up real quick. But then I was all right after that. I mean, I was like, well, how do you feel when you're sick? You're like angry and little. Yeah. Then you start thinking, am I going to make it and everything else? And your mind starts to wander, and next thing you know it, hey, you got to take care of yourself here. Gotta straighten up. Yeah, and that's what I did. Face down, face up. Snow covered, some had snow on them, some had ice on them. Then look further, you see an American soldier laying dead there. Well, I don't want to be funny, but they weren't standing positions. They were laying down position. Yeah. A lot of blood.
What do you mean?
Red. Yeah.
You would see that on the bodies?
Oh, yeah.
On the Germans or the Americans?
Oh,
How old were you when you were in combat?
how old? I'd say 20.
23? You were born in 22.
22. Yeah.
So you'd be 23?
Oh, all right, 23. I got drafted, I think I was 19.
Did loud noises bother you when you came home?
Oh, yeah.
What do you remember about that?
Well, it's hard to put a brand on it. Just certain noises would bother you, yeah. And going to bed, that would bother me too.
What do you mean?
Well, how do I say it? My brother told me that, and while he's sleeping, while I'm sleeping, they make noises and whatnot.
You would make noises?
Yeah. But then I was staying with my brother and sister-in-law, and she was saying that certain times you'd like a dream, a bad kind of a dream. But I'm over all that. That's been a long time ago.
So, your anti-tank gun, did you ever use it against a German tank? Did it ever fire against a German tank?
You mean my 75? No.
Yeah. So what did you guys actually fire at and hit?
What did we fire at?
Either the 75 or the recoilless.
Oh.
Tell me about the targets that you guys actually were able to successfully fire at.
We fired before. Well, when I had the 75 millimeter, we fired those into the wooded area. Okay, and it was a good gun to knock out a German Jeep, but it couldn't knock out a German tank. No way.
What about the recoilless? What kind of targets did you use with that?
Everything was in their way. You know why? Because it was easy to carry, easy to run, and you can run and hide within minutes.
Tell me about the kind of targets you guys used it against.
The recoilless?
Yes, sir.
Well, when you can have a Jeep loaded with ammo and run it down the road, you can jump off that Jeep, tripod that gun, put the shell in there, all within a minute, and fire. Within 2 minutes, you got your target.
Did you actually see it hitting the Jeep? Did you actually see it hitting the Jeep?
No.
You'd mentioned earlier that you guys would hit trucks, German trucks. Did that happen, or that's what?
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Did you guys see it hit?
You don't see him hit. You see the damage of it when the noise it makes when it explodes.
Did you ever walk past the area where?
After yeah.
Did you ever see the damage up close?
I never paid much. Just want to make sure that the thing wasn't running. That's all I cared about.
With the truck?
Yeah. I didn't want that thing to turn around and shoot me in the back.
So I mean, would it explode the truck?
It wouldn't explode the truck. It put a pretty good sized mark in it and do a lot of damage, yeah, but it wouldn't blow the truck right up. Oh, no. That's like shooting a 22 with a rifle and hitting a bird. You wouldn't blow that bird apart. You just...
That's a good analogy. Tell me the story of how you met your wife.
Oh. We run this German beer garden Okay? We took it over. And the war was, as far as I was concerned, was the way I saw it at that time was very little. Snipers, that's about the only thing was firing. So what we did then, my squad was on the route, the main road going into Essen, Germany. And my job was make sure that every German truck has a written report on his card. It's like a pass card. So we're standing there, all of a sudden, okay, check his papers, go ahead. You ain't got no papers, you don't go nowhere, we put you in jail, that's all. Simple as that. So after my, either I worked the day turn shift or the afternoon shift. Okay. If I worked the day turn shift, I always stopped, me and my Jeep driver would stop at the beer garden where we run and had a beer. So we're outside there, standing on the sidewalk there. I see this broad walking up, and I said, "Hey, Dranchak." I said, look at that broad. Oh my God, I said, man, I could marry that broad. Lo and behold, she comes up, and I stopped her. I said, let's see, Miss, your pass. Well, she got her purse out and said, the pass. I looked, oh, Elizabeth Bredeman. Yeah, Elizabeth Bredeman. I give it back to her, and she takes off, walks down the road. So Dranchak said, what do you want to do? I said, why? I said, you know me, like a goddamn dummy. I forgot to find out where the hell she lives. I got her name, but not her address. So he said, you know, Pete, I think she works down at florist down there. She had them, the way she was carrying that package looked like it was flowers or something. So the next day, we're standing out after a beer, out there on the sidewalk, and sure as hell, here she comes. I stopped her again, and she said, you stopped me yesterday. She's telling me in German. I can read her. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see your papers. You got a paper? I said, number 10, Shepherding Way. I said, okay. So I give her a pass back. I had her address on it now. I said, Dranchak, go get the Jeep. He goes down. Now he's got to walk a good quarter of a mile downhill, down in Werden, Germany, and we had the motor pool there. So he got the Jeep. He comes up. He said, where do we go? I said, 810 Shepherding Way. What's that? I said, oh, we'll get on this road and find out. The very first block that we turned, that was the street. We could have walked that. Okay, we go. So I go knocking on the door. A man comes out. I said, I want to see Elizabeth. He said, you want to see Elizabeth? He looked funny at me. Huh? He said, hey, Elizabeth, come around. I mean, Elizabeth, come here. So who comes walking to the door? His wife. And she's pregnant. And I said, no. And he's laughing like hell. He said, "Yo, you want Elizabeth?" The next door, they had another apartment there. So I had to go to the next door. And I finally worked my way in. Every day I'd go there. And finally, after about a whole week, I think they got to enjoy me. They knew I wasn't a bad guy, I guess. I don't know.
Did she like you?
Yeah, that's first no. No, that's first no. Then as I kept coming there, then things keep changing every day, which was good. Then he even tells me where the schnapps are being made. That bootleg German beer, German whiskey. Yeah. And by God, finally I told her, I said, I think if I ever go back to USA, I think I'll send for you. And she didn't say yes or no, but then, you want the whole story?
Yeah,
I don't think you do.
I do.
When I lost her address?
That's a big part of it.
Well, I was going to send for her, but I kept putting it off.
Why? Why were you putting it off?
Well, I just got back from Germany. I got all my buddies. Oh, my God, come on. I had a lot of... and then my brother said, he had 3 kids. He said, we got to go back to Pennsylvania and visit our cousins and whatnot. So we went. That's when I left my wallet on the goddamn, in a booth in a beer garden with all them, what do you call them?
Addresses.
Well, with my address in, and I bought the kids some potato chips and whatever, and I left my wallet there. And now, 2 years go by. And my sister-in-law said, Pete, you got a lot of Army junk down cellar. Now, if you're not going to use it, we'll get rid of it, because it's just collecting dust down cellar. And I said, oh, okay. She said, go ahead over and see what you want and get rid of the rest. So I'm going through there, and they had that card, Beckman's Beer Garden. Her father said, I have nothing to give you but a remembrance of this birthday card where you met my daughter. And I kept that birthday card. Not a birthday card, postcard with Beckman's Beer Garden on it. And I wrote to Beckman's Beer Garden, put a letter inside the letter and told her, give that to Elizabeth Bredeman. And that's how it happened. Yeah.
You forgot a big part of it. The $500.
Well, that come later. Then, then I went to the immigration office downtown, Youngstown, and I told them I'm going to send for my girlfriend in Germany.
How do you know she was still your girlfriend? 2 years.
Yeah, but...
Did you correspond with her?
Yeah, I corresponded. I said, after 2 years, I said, if you're married, forget it. But if you're not married, I'll still send for you.
But
so she gave me a letter.
But in the 2 years, did you correspond with her at all?
I didn't have no address.
So, how do you know she... Did you propose to her when you were in Germany?
I told her, yeah. I said,
But then she doesn't hear from you for 2 years.
That's right. Because I lost the address.
How's she know that? She probably thought that you just didn't care about her.
That's what she thought. That's what she even said in her letter. She said, I thought you found another...
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So you go to the immigration office,
Yeah.
and then what do you say?
I told him I want to send for this Elizabeth Bredeman. And he says, smart ass, that, how do I know you know her? And I said, well, why would I want to send for somebody I don't know? That's crazy. And so, anyhow, the argument went back and forth, but then his boss come out and straightened it out. I didn't have no citizenship papers. I had baptismal papers, but no citizenship papers. So I had to go to Newcastle, Pennsylvania to get my birth certificate. So anyhow, I sent for her. And
what did you write to her when you sent for her?
I said, if you're married, forget it. Because then, my chances are gone. But when I went to that goddamn immigration office, now after I getting that all straightened out, now he said, now I want $500. If she comes here and she tells any of us that you are not the same man, you're different, you got a one leg missing or something, she wants to go back to Germany, she gets that $500 and that ticket takes her back to Germany. That is a true story. And I'm not.
How did you get the $500?
From my father.
You asked him for $500?
Oh, yeah.
What did he say?
He gave it to me.
But you expected to get it back.
Yeah. Because I knew she wasn't going to say no to me.
So when you wrote to her, what did she write back?
What did she write back? Oh, she wrote, she wanted to know why it took me so long, like you said, almost 2 years. Well, I told her, I said, I lost your address, I lost my wallet, and I lost $300 too with it. That was my $300 muster out pay. Yeah, I lost it all.
What did she think? What did she think had happened when she did not hear from you?
Well, when I told her, I told her what happened.
Well, what did she believe at first?
Well, I don't know what she.
I thought
she thought sure I got married
to some other girl.
Yeah, she American girl. That's what she figured.
Was she happy to hear from you?
Oh yeah, yeah. So then we kept corresponding real quick, back and forth, and finally she got enough nerve and everything else and say goodbye to her family over in Germany, and so that's the way it went.
And she came to the U.S.?
Yeah.
And how did you guys get married?
What do you mean, how?
Tell me, how did you propose?
Well, I told her from a long time that I was gonna that I want her for my wife, and when she came here, my sister-in-law started teaching her English and everything else, and American style Italian cooking, Yeah. Oh, we had a good time. We had a good time.
How long were you guys married?
69 years. 69 years. Yeah.
What do you want people to always remember about the men who fought in World War II?
I don't want them to remember me at all.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, there's so many others that did a lot more than I did for our country. And
No, but I'm saying, overall, what do you want people to remember about the sacrifices made by the World War II veterans? All of them.
oh, well, I don't know what to say. Peace on earth. That's all I could say. Let's not go to war. Let's.
If you were to give me some wisdom for my life, what would you tell me?
Wisdom.
Yeah. I'm 20 years old. At the beginning of my life.
Oh yeah, you got a long way to go. And
So what is some wisdom you can give me for my life?
the most honest question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. Whatever you do it right. Try to do it right. And whatever you do, don't fight anything. Let life go by. It's so much easier to say goodbye rather than fight. So that's what I'm going to tell you.
Thank you.
And I hope a million more will do the same. And guess what? There won't be no more trouble here on earth. Oh, what a wonderful thing that would be.
Hold this up for me.
Yeah.
Hold it up high. Up. Yep, just like that. Hold it tight. Smile.